being said, we're gonna go ahead and get into it. We're gonna talk about what your basketball career was like at Hyde Park, and then kind of talk about the ascension you had, because it's like, I know y'all in the, like, it was not like Hyde Park was ever a weak program. Like, everybody knew, you know what I'm saying, Hyde Park, and respected them, but it was like, by the time you was a senior, y'all was 27-5, I think, something like that. You only lost 5 games. You know what I'm saying? People around the city was kind of shook. Like, they didn't really want to see Hyde Park at that time. And then even the ascension of just you as an individual basketball player, I feel like should be mentioned a little bit, because it wasn't like you was super high, well known your freshman year to like by the time you was a senior and y'all had that 27-5 record. Like, can you just talk about like that process and what your career was like overall?
Yeah. So coming in freshman year, it was new because of the level, but at the same time it was new because I just played for my granddad my last 3 years of elementary school.
So now he was the coach over there too?
My granddad, yeah, he was the coach over there. Coach, he was the athletic director, basketball coach, track coach, and he was like Mr. Clark. He was like Mr. Clark of Arnold Morales Academy. Yeah, so you know, playing for your granddad is a different, different feeling. It's even a different feeling from playing than I can imagine from playing for your father. Like, your father might, be way more harder and just like more like under the discipline act as far as, being player coach. But my granddad, he was just cool, laid back, let us cool. We played a 2-3 zone the whole time. Like the development, like the fun was there, but as you getting older, like you see that the development wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? Like now these kids training, they got trainers 5 days a week. We was
individual.
Yeah, we was at the court. Like that's how we got better. We just played basketball against each other. Like, that wasn't a part of our culture at that time. We just was outside a lot playing basketball, and that's how we got good, going to camps, going to YMCA and stuff like that. Right. That would be the other thing. That would be the extra things you did to get better. Like, it wasn't like individual workouts, trainers. Like, it's
or these brands that got all these different camps and
yeah,
it's all these leagues.
It's different, man. It's a whole different game now. So, all we had was hooping. So me coming in freshman year, the team had been together that summer. I didn't even know that they had played together, that they knew each other. I came in freshman, like, really not knowing anybody, and just had to prove myself with my game. Made the sophomore team, and my freshman year. Like I said, like, the basketball, it was playground for us. It wasn't like, if we wasn't in getting taught by our coaches, we wasn't getting taught anything. You know what I'm saying? We was just going out there on our own there and hooping, trying to get better, mimicking or copying what we see from our favorite players, trying to perfect those moves. Like, that's basically how we got better, watching stuff over and over, and then trying to do it on the court. So, or doing it in your backyard, whatever, if you had a rim or whatever. So,
going to the park, like you said earlier.
Yeah, exactly. So freshman year, like, everything was new to me, and like I tell people all the time, I had nothing, but I could always pass, and I had a good floater. Like, that's all I had. That's all I had my freshman year. So like my freshman year, we had a nice team. We were just figuring out, young guys. Played for Coach Bailey, Carvel Bailey. Shout out to Bailey. He was actually probably the best thing for me coming out of that situation, with being like kind of privileged with my granddad, like to come play for him. He was a hard-nosed guy, like very stern with everything he believed in, and how he ran his program. Very successful guy. He went on to coach at Malcolm X and Truman after that, had successful seasons. But Bailey, the way he structured his guys and try to make boys to men, like, that was the guy we needed our freshman year. He helped us, come through as far as like mental toughness, develop that mental toughness. He was the same. He was actually our coach the same year that Coach Carter came out.
Okay.
So like,
you
tactics,
related to that.
yeah, the tactics he was pulling, though, he was doing that before the movie had even came out like that year. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, you could tell, like, he knew the game. He knew how to get the best out of you, and just demand what he wanted, and you know, the respect we have for him, you know, we just try to go out there and, you know, compete every time for him.
And that was your JV coach?
Yeah, that was my JV coach.
Okay, so then how did you move into, because y'all had a coaching change during by the time you went to varsity?
Yeah, so, but my sophomore year, I ended up playing varsity.
Right.
And I was on the team with 10 seniors. So it was a lot of envy because I was like getting a lot of the shots. You know, the offenses was kind of running through me a lot. But I had worked my butt off that summer, leading into that year, which was actually my first time like actually being in the gym, you know, working on my game. You know, like I said, like if it wasn't at the park hooping, it wasn't even registering to us to like, oh yeah, let's get these reps.
Like you really get in the gym working on your skills.
Yeah, I'm in here dribbling, I'm doing cones, I'm shooting shots, I'm getting my shots. I never was a 3-point shooter until that summer. I got better that summer. I always wanted to shoot threes, but it was never, you know, we didn't have a 3-line in elementary school. So it was like, this is a new realm, like, and it's something that you always wanted because, oh, we didn't have a 3-point line, now we got a 3-point line, now you want to shoot the threes, like, but now it's like, you haven't worked on that. So, like my freshman year, I can remember I only attempted maybe 5, but I only made 3 threes my freshman year. I can remember the exact games I made the threes and everything. And my sophomore year, like, I was probably averaging like making 4 a game. You know what I'm saying? So like the improvement I made in that one summer, you know, really showed me, you know, how I could, you know, turn it up. But then again, that was coach getting me in the gym. It wasn't like, oh, I'm getting in the gym. I need to get this work for myself so I can be better this next year. It was like, nah, the talent, everything was based off talent at those days. You know what I'm saying? Nothing was really based off work ethic. You know, and you get it sometimes at that age, you could get away with that. You know what I'm saying? The more you go up, those levels, though, like the work gonna show. And you know, at that time though, like that summer really prepared me for that sophomore year. We had a mediocre year. We had like a 500 record, and but that was the year that like I really got my name, like it got some notoriety.
For sure.
I was the leading scorer as a sophomore on the varsity team. So, you know, like that sparked a lot of, you know, eyes open and, you know, opened up ears. And I remember we played Crane on TV, a playoff game, and we lost, but I had a good year the whole year. Like, don't get me wrong. And then that TV, like the TV game just really kind of put people on notice, I guess.
Yeah, because to put it, just to kind of bring everybody around, like it's like, to put y'all back in that time period, it wasn't like now where you could just catch the highlights from everybody's high school game on your phone on the story real quick from all different angles like it's the NBA. Like, for him to be even playing on TV at that time was a big deal at that age. Number one. Number two, to then be playing a playoff game and then to cook, like it was a multiplier for him to have that type of, you know what I'm saying, eyes on him, and then not only for him to perform, you feel me, during that time. So I just want to speak to that so people can connect the dots.
For sure, man. Like BTV, Comcast, Sportsnet, Channel 100, you know what I'm saying? Like that was that was the channel that the games came on. So we played Crane, and I had 18 fourth quarter points.
That's huge.
And
this you as a sophomore?
This was my sophomore year.
Okay.
We had fought back. We ended up losing the game, but like at the end of the day, they saw, like everybody saw what I had been doing the whole year in that last playoff game. So I remember like yesterday, there was a Saturday game. So we had school. It was actually the Saturday game we had. It was Lincoln's Day on Monday. We didn't have school, so Tuesday we had class. I had gym first period, and my best friend had gym second period. So as I'm leaving out, he's coming up. He's like, "Yo, I just had computer. I just got my computer class off on Chicago Hoops. Man, they got you at number 18."
Hey, so for people that don't know, again, I gotta stop because to be even mentioned, because they had like a little article and stuff they write on Chicago Hoops. To be mentioned on Chicago Hoops was crazy. That was like the ESPN rankings for Chicago at that time. Like if you was on there, you solidified. I don't care how bad you played, how short you looked. If you was on Chicago Hoops, get any kind of mention, that was it. It's like you made it. So for him to be ranked on Chicago Hoops was crazy. So about that, I just had to
shout out to Brian Stinnett, man. Ran that website for a long time. Really a real cool dude. But man, Chicago Hoops, he said, man, I just got on Chicago Hoops, bro. They got you at number 18.
That's tough.
I said, what? 18? Let me go see this. I had computer class next. I went to go see it, man. And that the feeling I got from that, just like, oh man, you really like, you can really do something with this. You know what I'm saying? Like you always imagine that, but then until other people really give you the reassurance that you think, you know what I'm saying? Like that's when it really sinks in. So yeah, for sure. So after that, you know, we actually our coaches got fired. Coaches I mentioned earlier, Narville Newsom and Charles Sills, guys that recruited the whole team that we had. Now us being sophomores, we're coming in juniors now. We're about to come inside junior year. All my friends played, and it was significant because all of my classmates was my class. We were sophomores. But my sophomore year, they played on varsity. I played varsity. My varsity coach didn't want me to play up and down. He didn't want me to play up and down, so he only made me play strictly varsity.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so now, junior year, I'm like, all right, I'm about to have my boys down. Like, you know, we about to, I would have won city with y'all last year. We got to win it this year. You know what I'm saying? I got y'all now. And boom, our coach get fired.
Can you talk to, is it like a private thing or like how they end up getting fired? Can you
no, it was just real administration change. We had a new assistant principal, Thomas Charter, who was also, if you watch Hoop Dream, you will see him recruit Arthur A.G. from Marshall. But he was an assistant coach at New Mexico State, and he coached at a couple other schools. But then he eventually ended up becoming our assistant principal. So now him coming into, like, he got a basketball background. Now he's like, all right, I'm in a little position of power. Let me shake this up how I want to, you know.
That's usually how it goes. That's not that, I hope nobody don't take that personally. That's how it goes. Like if somebody come in and they in a big administrative position and they want to move some stuff around, they got the power to do that. So that's how it goes.
So with that mindset, he wanted to hire new athletic director, new coaches for many of the programs. It wasn't even just basketball. Football coaches had changed and everything. So you know, he just wanted to be a little more professional. He wanted our new coaches to wear suits, and you know, he had the college background. So you know, this was his criteria, and you know, he changed. He kind of helped change the culture at Hyde Park a little bit from probably I could say like. On the standpoint of just being more professional, you know, the look, you know, and he hired a good friend, Donnie Kersey, who ended up becoming my coach for my last 2 years at Hyde Park. Unfortunately, he passed a few years ago to COVID. But man, it wasn't even, the relationship didn't start off, you know, as pleasant as one would think. You know, we had a lot of resentment from our coach getting fired. So we really wasn't trying to respect or obey, you know, whoever knew was coming in. Like some of us wanted to transfer. I actually thought about going to play at Mount Carmel. I probably would have went to Simeon if the rule was out. If the rule wasn't that you had to sit a year. If you go to Chicago Public School, probably would have went to Simeon.
Because that's something people don't know about too, my bad, not to cut you off, but people need to know that, like, the way kids be just, announcing, like, they going to college, like, I committed to this school, I'm transferring, and they right on the court the next day. Like, it wasn't like that back then in our time. Like, you transfer to another CPS school, you sit.
Sit whole year. And it was a time, like, where you had to transfer by a certain amount of time to possibly play. Like, you had to transfer, like,
by a certain date,
and you couldn't play the rest of the season, but you could play the next year. You didn't have to sit a year. You know what I'm saying? So like it was a different type of realm there. So it was a lot. Like it was that type of stuff too changes the whole dynamic of things. The fact that you can't do that now, like it's making that the fact that now you could just transfer to another school, CPS, and just play, like it makes it just like free for everybody to just roam around. So back to Coach Donnie Kersey. He came in, man, and he really won us over with his connections and his professionalism. And like once he won me over, you know, everybody kind of followed suit. I was the one basically like the ringleader, basically telling like, man, this guy, he really gonna put us in a position to really be successful, whether it's on the court or off the court. So like, let's just give him a shot. and see how it goes. And he instilled a whole different type of thing too to the Hyde Park culture. You know, man, we didn't really have here before. You know, he came. Like his connections helped us get, you know, Jordan merchandise. He was real good friends with Juwan Howard and Michael Jordan. So we had Jordan here now. So now, like, you know, all this stuff is instilling the confidence in you as a kid. Like, look good, play good. Look good, feel good, play good. Like, he always told us that, you know, the infamous Deion Sanders quote. Like, he always told us the same thing. Like, he was always dressed down to the T, you know what I'm saying? Like, had us making sure we was all right. Like, he just instilled a new culture from the way we looked, the way we acted, the way we conducted ourselves in public. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just gave us a more professional look and, you know, kind of helped us as young men get ready for this next level that we were stepping into, which was college in the next couple of years.
Right. And before we get into college, I do want you to kind of speak to just like that on-court like run that you had, specifically your senior year. I remember, because that when you and Faye were on that run where it was like, because I don't remember the exact like streak y'all had, but I know like again y'all went 27-5. So I just kind of want you to at least just kind of mention that season, and then like we don't got to talk about how it ended because you know Whitney Young had to do that to y'all, but bigger than that though, way bigger than that. Shank had a crazy senior year, so I kind of do want you to talk about that just a little bit more before we move on.
Okay, so yeah, our junior year, it was decent. I think it was probably like 20. We had 20 wins, probably like 20-10 or something like that. Right. It was decent. Could have been better. We got eliminated in the state playoffs to NBA professional Iman Shumpert at Hyde Park. Yep. And you know, coming into that senior year, it was like I had started playing for the Mac Urban Fire. So you know, being on the Mac Urban Fire, they always had the top ranked guys in the class, you know, the same team. And to the standard of how things was ran back then, like I was the least, like the lowest ranked out of the ranked guys that was on the Fire. So you know, that kind of like put me like on the back burner a little bit. And
sure, especially in the AAU circuit, like it was about who was the top ranked guy. That's what we try to put on display.
Exactly.
But at the same time, everybody on the team is ranked. I'm talking about to the last dude on the bench.
Exactly. It's like even younger guys they had better notoriety or they had more clout, you know, so to speak, the word we use now. Like, and they would play more. They would play before, you know, the guys that was older, and you know that was good, just as good too. So you know, like it was a little political thing. So I didn't really play no more after the spring session. Like I played with my high school team, and that's the summer that we won. We won the Morris Shootout, we won UIC school tournament, we won Northern Illinois University. They had a tournament at Moody Bible. We won that. Like we won about 4 tournaments that summer, and none of our players played AAU. So we had our full team. While other teams wasn't playing with their full team, and we was playing together the whole summer, you know, and preseason we was ranked, I think probably like number 10. And that was a pleasant surprise to us because nobody never really talked about us, but at the same time we had just showed our worth that summer. Now we just had to come into that season year and prove ourselves. And you know, man, I had a chip on my shoulder because of, you know, the summer with the Fire early on, you know, knowing that I was better than most of those guys and didn't get the same respect or, you know, privilege as those guys, you know, just put a chip on my shoulder to say like, you know, like this senior year I'm gonna show that wow, I should have been that guy, you know what I'm saying? And you know, that senior year we played against a few of our old Mac Urban teammates, and you know I got the best of them. Most of them, but Jonathan Mills, R.I.P., and Terry Johnson, they got me at North Lawndale. They popped us twice that year. And out of our 5 losses, we had 2 from them, 1 from Whitney Young, 1 from TF North, and we lost a buzzer beater game in Curie in our conference.
And to this point, just for people that don't know, those are all, at that time, very valid programs. It's not like he's saying they lost to no scrubs. everybody else that got him up out of there. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, every team we lost to, it was like a respected loss. Like, of course, losses, nobody want to take losses, but they were respectable, against really strong opponents. But that senior year, man, we just had fun. We knew it was the last run. We knew what we had went through those first 3 years, and just like never really getting, that notoriety that we wanted. And it was all because we never got to those stages that we needed to get to. And that senior year, we performed, and we got to those stages we wanted to get to, and we performed on those stages. And that senior year was just so fun, man. If I could replay any year of my life, I would probably do that senior year. It was a good one, man. And we had a lot of fun. And it just had the spirit of the school was just high because we was just a good team. We all had good dudes on the team. We
Can you speak to that too? Also, I wanted to kind of bring up, since we over east, we got to bring up our boy Fave real quick. What was it like playing with him at that time? So he ended up going to Texas A&M, so it wasn't like, like people was getting attention. Like, so it was like, I did want you to kind of speak to that, like playing with a talent like that. Like, what was that like for you a little bit?
Well, me and Fabian, we had known each other since probably about 9 years old. Just being in the same neighborhood. He actually grew up on the block next to the block I lived on before I went to the house around the corner where I grew up in. So I used to see him a lot around. We played football together, football and basketball at the Hyde Park I told you about. And when we got to high school, I already knew who he was as a person, as a player. So like our personalities, like they're different, but it meshes together, especially on the court. Like, I'm the easygoing guy that wants to, make sure everybody gets involved. And sometimes he would be the one that tell me, like, no, we don't need you to do that. We need you to be Malcolm Griffin. We need you to score. We need you to do this. Like he would be the one that would get in my end, like wake me up, like, all right, I need to do what I gotta do instead of being cool or whatever. Like, he was always the one that was just on go. Like, regardless of it was whether you were getting into it with another teammate, another opponent, or just just going to battle in between those lines. Like, I knew I always could count on him at any time, and like that was one person I never had to worry about on the basketball court. Like, I could trust him at any capacity, any situation. Like, I could count on Fabian. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's just the relationship we had. We played together. I really only got 1 year with him because he had got his sophomore year, when he was going to play with us, he had messed his appendix. He had burst his appendix, and he got sick, so he played on Foss-off that year. So I only really got to play 1 year with him. But like I said, we had played together in tournaments since we were kids, like together as teammates. So we knew who each other was, and when we got together on the court, basically having him for my last year, it was amazing.
And it was perfect. It worked out clearly. 27-5.